Hello, everyone,
Hello.
and welcome to episode 5 of Termin's Life with me, Dan. I will go ahead and introduce the guest straight away. With our visual listeners, visual watchers,
Perverts, creeps.
perverts, creeps, slash stalkers. I'm the leader in that. No, I'm not. You can see I have Jack to the left of me. Well, he's Jack as my guest. So I normally start by introducing how I know them and who you are. So how I know Jack, well, I guess technically we went to uni together, but we didn't.
We discussed this yesterday, didn't we? You
Yeah.
started a couple of years after me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, we met through mutual Connor.
Yeah.
Who's
Connor
in
Atkinson, shout out.
Yeah,
Living it up in Australia.
in Australia.
Congratulations on the engagement.
I know Jack through uni of Leeds. I'm pretty sure it's second year, so 2013.
Yeah. That was
Winter?
my third year.
Yeah,
Yeah,
my
yeah.
second year, so it's summer 2013, so
Yeah.
10 years.
10 years.
Fucking hell.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's it.
Anniversary.
Happy anniversary. I didn't get you anything.
Is that tin?
Tin of it? Oh, I remember on New
years.
Girl there's an episode of like tin.
Paper. It might be paper anniversary.
Oh, yeah.
They've all got different names, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that doesn't seem like that, like,
No, we'll
good.
have to... No.
Okay. Cool, okay. So that's how I know Jack. I'll let you introduce yourself, who you are, age, location, meaning in life, purpose in life. your
ASL.
calling. ASL?
Age, sex, location. Yeah, I'm Jack. Dan's friend for 10 years, apparently.
Yeah.
Live in Leeds, which is where we are right now.
We are.
Yeah, A up.
A up, lad.
A up, lad.
A up, lad.
And yeah, what else did you ask for?
Age, sex,
Gender, I
location.
identify as male.
Okay, sex?
He, him,
Yes, please.
pronouns.
Yeah, he,
Him,
yeah. Location, Leeds.
Leeds.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Star sign?
5'11", Gemini.
really? I'm 5'8.5".
About 12 stone, give or take.
Gemini, so that means you have a twin.
Well, yeah, maybe.
Do you believe?
I've never met them. I haven't found them yet, but they might be out there somewhere.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
But just before we start, hopefully I didn't feel this. So this is for ASMR. You know ASMR?
Yeah.
What does it stand for?
It stands for... I have no idea.
Cool. So it's like the audio like gets you like
Yeah,
going,
it gets
right?
gets them like horny and
Yeah.
yeah.
So
it's
I'm
for
gonna just
creeps and perverts.
yeah for the listeners,
For the listeners and the watchers.
for the 5 listeners, including me.
For the creeps and perverts.
For your purpose, I'm just gonna open this for the ASMR.
Okay. That was pretty
That was
nice.
good. That was good. Right.
Yeah.
And now,
Oh, that was a bit creepy.
was it?
Yeah.
Oh, I kind of nearly choked on it.
People are gonna like that though. People like that.
I like
shit.
it.
Yeah. People are disgusting.
Yeah, me too.
Listeners.
So normally go highs. Normally talking about the weekend, so they do a little blurb. So
Yeah.
for example, this ties in for my house and my local highs. So I was telling Jack earlier, my highs is this weekend. So we've actually had a lot of themes, and I feel like that always happens when I'm with you, for example. So got here about 24 hours ago.
24 hours ago, almost exactly.
Yeah, 24 hours and
Yeah,
20
yeah.
minutes. Train was delayed by a door,
Yeah.
but I wasn't stressed. And the thing with guys even like, oh, delay repay. I was thinking, fucking 50% back on the ticket. Hell yeah.
Cha-ching.
Cha-ching. But we got here. We went to a Thai restaurant.
Yeah.
Got drunken noodles.
Well, I got drunken noodles. Dan obviously got a pad thai.
I got pad thai because I went to Thailand for
all
those
he ever
listeners.
eats.
One pad thai a day keeps the doctor away. And I've seen 0 doctors a day apart from Jack, who is a
Apart from
doctor.
me.
Oh, you didn't say what you did.
Yeah, I'm a psychiatrist working in liaison psychiatry.
That's cool. So you
Yeah.
deal with not crazy people, but can I say that?
No, I mean, you can say that. I can't say that. No, so I work in a general hospital, and we see people with mental illness that are also in for physical health problems.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So you got drunken noodles, which was really fucking spicy.
It was. My lips were burning for about
Yeah.
an hour afterwards.
And then I got pad thai. And then we were at the restaurant. You put your chilies aside.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Well,
you
not
mentioned
all of them, just a few.
some
of them.
of
Yeah,
them.
some.
And then I don't know if you mentioned it in part. I don't know if you just mentioned it in passing, but Jack was like, "I give you £5 to."
Well, I first asked my girlfriend
Yeah, Ebba.
if she would eat all of them for £5,
Yeah.
and she declined.
yeah.
But Dan immediately
So I'll do
agreed.
that.
£5. He'll do anything for £5.
Yeah. Very
So
poor right now. So.
He ate all of these big chilies. I was quite impressed actually. I thought you might give up halfway through.
No, because the spice took a little while to come in, right? So I think my theory was just like eat it really quick, and then I ate all of them, and then when the saliva started sort of
You looked a bit uncomfortable
yeah,
afterwards.
but I was thinking £5.
Yeah, 5 quid.
Oh shit, I forgot to bring that.
And I
as a
did
prop.
give you the 5 quid.
Yeah.
We had it for evidence, but it's...
We did, yeah. It's
gone.
in my wallet, which is upstairs. But as evidence, Jack did give me the £5, so I can vouch. He is a man of his word and of his handshake.
Yeah.
So
An honourable man.
an honourable man, an honourable man. But so after Junk and Noodles, we did, and the £5 we went to Junkyard Golf because you mentioned shuffleboard, but I kind of had a craving to go mini golf.
Yeah,
So
and I haven't played mini golf in years, so...
I played on the 3rd of January.
Yeah, Dan's been having practice.
I have, and I beat my friends then, and I wanted to keep that streak going.
And who won the first game?
I can't remember. I actually thought I was gonna... I'm joking. I genuinely thought I was going to win, though.
Yeah, I thought you were going to win too until like the last few holes.
Yeah, and then I think there was one, I can actually post, I have that video, because it was the one that I fucked it, where you have to hit up a ramp and go into the mini.
Yeah.
But I just kept on hitting it back. So I
Yeah.
have the video of you doing it, so I post that video.
Yeah.
And that's what, because I got like 7, and Paul was like 3. And you got 5, though.
5,
but,
yeah, that was a hard hole.
Yeah.
That was tough.
But then the last hole as well, I think you won it. Because,
Hole in one.
Hole in one. Because you meant to like go up this little ramp, but then you thought you fucked it. I thought you fucked it, because it went off.
It went too far, came back.
Yeah, and then
and
went
back
back
again.
in a hole in one. Because yeah, a hole in one actually feels pretty good. So you won the first one, and that so
Dan stole a ball.
accidentally on purpose. Like
Accidentally on purpose.
I was I put the balls in my pocket, and then we came back after a taxi, and I was like, oh shit. And we got the scorecard as well.
And
have you got it?
the lovely lady at the front desk gave us some...
We got props. Hang on.
I can't get it on over my headphones,
Oh,
but
same.
some lame
Hang on.
golf hats.
Yeah, so you can see.
But
We wear them for a little bit, and then when they fall off, we'll
Yeah.
take them off. So we got free visors.
free visors. That's
There's
what they're called, visors.
visors, like, so they helped, I think. But anyway, yeah, we finished Junkyard Golf. Then we came back for Yahtzee,
Yeah.
which I've always heard of, never played. And Yahtzee is a game. It's like rolling
Again,
dice.
A lot of
basically.
maths involved.
There is, because it's logical as well on what sort of odds you want to do. And I thought I'd be good at it, but it was my first time, so I think I'm allowed an excuse.
Yeah. You got the lowest score I think anyone's ever got.
I did. But I didn't want to. I mean,
But
I
it was
guess-
your first try. So.
Yeah, but one of the things with Yahtzee, you have 5 dice and you have to roll 5 of the same number. And on the very last roll, Jack needed Yahtzee, and you got Yahtzee.
I got it.
You got 5 of the same. Was it 5?
5 ones, I think.
5 ones, yeah.
Yeah.
And
It was a hell of a rush. It
Yeah,
was,
I can imagine.
It felt pretty good. And I rolled over and stood up. It was 2 a.m, so I didn't scream, which I wanted to, but I just ran through the house and then...
yeah, because the
came
neighbour was
back.
downstairs snoring, so I couldn't wake her up.
No.
Yeah, but yeah, so I imagine that's a good.
But it was a pretty wild moment.
Yeah, and then because I was thinking, how the hell do you roll dice? And then
It's all about the flick of the wrist.
yeah,
You got to
and
look
then-
at the flick of the wrist.
Look at the flick of the wrist.
Look at the flick of the
Look at
wrist.
the flick of the wrist.
Look at the flick of the wrist.
So
It's if anyone doesn't know, which I'm sure nobody does,
yeah,
it's cheddar to connect.
cheddar to connect.
I don't know when that song came out. That must be like I don't know.
2009.
That's a long time. Do you think 2009? Yeah. Well, this is Cheddar to Connect remix featuring Fetty Wap, Yo Gotti, Boosie Badass, and
Okay.
Boston George, who I no idea who Boston George is.
Okay.
Look at the flick of that wrist. Catching plays. Catching plays.
So he's talking about flicking the wrist.
I woke up feeling like I was on the moon. I woke up feeling like I need 100 goals. Look at the flick of that wrist. 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 Look at the flick of that wrist.
Yeah.
Look at the flick of that wrist.
So yeah, cool. We were
I think that might have been 30 seconds. So hopefully you won't get charged. I think Cheddar
No.
to Connect isn't going to come for your money.
I hope he doesn't.
No. I think Cheddar to Connect is probably a sound dude. I think he's a good guy.
You reckon? It sounds like he
Yeah, I
likes,
think he would support you in your endeavours.
sounds like he likes cheese as
Yeah, he loves cheese. Loves stacking that cheddar.
well. But yeah, so flick of the wrist. That's how you play Yahtzee. After Yahtzee, then today we we passed loads because Jack lives near loads of thrift shops, and I was like, oh, can we look? So we actually had a look today.
We bought some shit.
We did, yeah. So for the visual
Creeps.
watchers-
and
visual
perverts.
creeps,
Creeps and perverts.
we have props for the show. So I can show you what I bought. So I was very chuffed with this. Basically, throw the burrito. I got this for £4. Brand new game, like plastic still on. And for those who know Exploding Kittens, it's my favourite game. It's a game by Exploding Kittens, and it's basically like a dodgeball game, Throw the Burrito. Got that for £4, and I was actually very chuffed with that.
Bargain, man. I thought you were buying like a kid's toy or something. I didn't know what it was.
No, it's for me.
And then, yeah.
It's for me.
No, but I realised it's like a game. But like,
right, yeah.
just looking at it, I wasn't sure what it was.
Yeah. And so Jack actually saw like a Interbland shirt.
Yeah, 2018.
2018. Saw that on. It didn't fit that well, and then I saw this shirt on the wall as well.
Shout out Netherlands.
Shout out Netherlands. So I was thinking I have enough Dutch friends that I feel I'm allowed to buy this Dutch shirt, but I kind of like football shirts anyway.
Yeah, for sure, man.
And it fitted better as well.
It's a beautiful colour.
Yeah, like everyone will know I'm around if I wear this.
Yeah.
Smells like RSPCA because that's where it's from. And yeah, those are the props. I've never had props. And Jack, you want to show what you bought?
Yeah, I've got a sick Mizuno jumper.
I can't remember this brand, but I think old school brand, right? Oh yeah, you can.
Yeah, they're still around.
Yeah. So yeah, it's got blue and yellow for the audience, as you can't see, but it's like a blue and yellow jumper. Pretty good fit. I like a baggy fit as well, and it fitted a bit baggy on Jack, and I was like that.
It's a large.
But yeah, and then we went to Roundhay Park. I've never been.
Yeah, one of the biggest parks in Europe.
Yeah, which we were talking
Shout
about.
out Roundhay Park.
Yeah, shout out Roundhay Park. I've been here lived in Leeds 3 years for university. Never been.
Never been.
And that was
Checked
it,
on
really.
Google Maps. Bigger. It looks like it's bigger than the whole of Leeds City Centre.
Yeah, which is nuts,
massive.
right?
It's huge. It used to be full of deer. People used to go hunting there back in the day, like hundreds of years. Oh dear.
I made that joke earlier, but I had to repeat.
It's even worse the second time.
I laughed it just as hard. It's my podcast, actually.
I'll just laugh along. I'll
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Yeah, so we'll just cut out
Classic
that.
Dan.
We'll just cut out that first bit. But that was it, really. Then yeah, today we went for like a brunch, and that was it. And then highs and lows. So yeah, I was talking about that. The weekend's been high. The low with the train ticket, I get refunded. Another low. Well, not no low. Another interesting fact. This week I was flying from Dublin to Leeds. I was telling you the story, and the runway was icy, so we're not allowed to land, so we had to divert to Liverpool. And at the time, I was like, "Oh my god, this is so exciting! We get to divert." But at the time, the captain was like a bit stressed, like not showing it, but it's just like shit. Like we need to this is a real thing. I was thinking, I've never diverted before. So this is exciting. And then we got to Liverpool, and we were waiting for Leeds to open up, and we were on the ground for 4 hours. And I'm thinking, yeah, this is less exciting. Just waiting around, had lunch 10, 11
And I'm
o'clock.
guessing the passengers weren't particularly happy.
Well, some of them were okay, but they got free coach from Liverpool to Leeds. But bear in mind,
beautiful.
they're 2 hours. Bear in mind they were meant to get to Leeds at 8 in the morning, and instead they're getting 10 or 11. But still have you right.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
It's air travel, man.
Yeah, I don't care about that. But when we were walking through Roundhay Park, they had this train that goes through the
Oh yeah, that was great.
goes through the park.
It's it's for old people and children
Yeah.
because it's a massive park that
Yeah.
can't get from one side to the other, so
Yeah.
they can hop on this little train with wheels that goes down all the paths and shit
Yeah.
like that.
And we nearly got on it, and we were walking past. They were playing the music, and the music. Bear in mind, they had little kids and parents. They go, "Pass the dodgy on the left hand side."
It was amazing.
Just brilliant. Just
And they were just playing reggae the whole way around. It was great.
Yeah.
I really wanted to get on the
yeah.
train.
Next time.
Next time.
£2 for a train.
£2,
ticket as well,
man. Yeah.
That's worth it.
Yeah.
What we're gonna do now is just jam to the music, to the intro music. So, next segment we have is funny traveling and funny flying stories. And also, just going back to the weekend, Jack was showing me the non-alcoholic beer. We were talking about non-alcoholic beers and stuff. And
That's
there's
it.
a brand called Impossible Brew.
Impossible Brew, yeah.
Impossible Brews. And then there's another, the fake spirit as well.
Sentia, that is developed by Professor David Nutt, who is a neuroscientist and psychiatrist, works in London, does a lot of research on drugs and psychedelics and that kind of thing, and he's developed his own non-alcoholic spirit, but it has a blend of different plant chemicals and extracts and things, which supposedly gives you a relaxed and convivial feeling, and that's the word they use on the bottle. It gives you feelings of conviviality, which has been the word of the weekend. We've been saying that a lot.
Convivial, yes.
Yeah, convivial.
Oh, you had the definition. Do you remember it?
I could bring it up. Yeah, it's quite a simple definition. I mean, I wouldn't have been able to.
Because I've not heard of convivial before, but I thought...
Of an atmosphere or event friendly, lively and enjoyable, or of a person cheerful and friendly, synonymous with jovial.
Yeah, so I basically said drunk.
So it's been a
jovial,
been a very convivial weekend so far. Yeah, do you want the travelling back from Barcelona story?
Yeah, let's do
first.
That. Yeah.
Heavily redacted, but yeah. So I've had a few friends that have lived in Barcelona. One's still there, but kind of other people have been there at different times. Aaron Ritchie, he's the one that's still there. Shout out to Aaron Ritchie, legend. And it was quite a few years ago now, maybe 10 years ago, roughly, give or take. And we've been partying all night, but I was flying early in the morning. But we decided that there was no point really going to bed because we'd been up all night and we might as well just carry on. And took the bus to the airport. Got in through the airport, and obviously I was pretty drunk and all that kind of thing. Got through the security, and then this was back when I still smoked. I don't smoke anymore.
Yeah.
And I really just wanted a cigarette, and there was no smoking area in the departure lounge. And I was like, how is there no smoking area in the departure
lounge? And what time
is
this, just to set the scene a bit?
This is like, I think flight was at about 7:30 a.m. Okay. So this is probably like 6 a.m. in the departure lounge.
From the night before.
Yeah, so I went in the toilets and had a little rollie and was like bent over the toilet trying to blow the smoke down the toilet, expecting that like the water in the toilet would absorb the smoke and like draw it down the toilet, which clearly wasn't working. Yeah. And the toilet was just stinking of smoke, and then I heard the door open and someone came in, and I was terrified, so I had to throw it down the toilet and then just like run out. Luckily it wasn't any staff or anything like that. And then so I was like, oh, that wasn't a good experience. So I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll go just look around the duty free. So I decided to buy some, it was either brandy or cognac, because I'm a big fan of like cognac and brandy and those kind of drinks. So I bought some of that. And then I was obviously pretty tired, but I got on the plane. I was chatting to everyone in the queue for the plane because I was still up from the night before. And I was just like, how was your holiday? That kind of thing. I must have been an absolute pain in the ass. Yeah. And I think the sun was coming up, and I was like, got on the plane. We took off, ordered a 7-Up or a Sprite, and was like, well, I might as well just start drinking this brandy or cognac then. And Dan will tell you, as a man of the air, that is a big no-no on a flight. You can't open your duty free. Yeah. So, but I did it anyway. I think I kind of knew this, but I just did it, and then I was pouring out like double measures of cognac and drinking that at like 8 a.m. just to kind of avoid the need for sleep, I think. Not that it was really helping. And the lovely cabin crew came over and was like, oh, I'm sorry, sir, you can only drink what you've bought on the plane. I was like, oh, yeah, okay, apologies. I'm really sorry. But as soon as they turned around, I just kept pouring it out. I was not a good passenger on that flight. I'm not proud of it. I wouldn't do that now. It was a long time ago. But I feel sorry for the people that sat around me on the plane, because I must have looked a mess, to be honest. But I look back on it with a mix of shame and fondness, because it was fun, but at the same time, it was probably not the best thing to be doing on a plane.
Yeah. That's funny. And then, but then that ties into the one of the Emirates, right? The Emirates story.
Oh, flying back from Southeast Asia.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Fly Emirates. But shout out to Fly Emirates for just giving you free alcohol on the flight.
Yeah, I've done it once, and yeah, it's good.
Oh, incredible. And their cabin crew, nicest people ever.
Yeah.
I was flying on my own. I will talk more about being in Vietnam and stuff later, but I was flying back from that trip via the Maldives and Bangkok. And obviously I was pretty sad that my kind of, how long was I away for? 6, 7, 8 weeks, something like that. I was sad that my time was coming to an end. So to kind of dampen that down, I decided to make the most of the free alcohol on the flight.
Yeah.
Just watching films, drinking all the way. Cabin crew were lovely, just kept stocking me up with whatever I wanted.
Yeah, sick.
Drinking all the way through, whatever it is, like a 12-hour flight, just drinking the whole time. And then it got to the end of the flight, and I asked the cabin crew who'd been kind of looking after our section, oh, do do you mind if I just take a couple of these home with me, like the little miniature, like some wine or some spirits? And she said, well, I'm just going to walk down here. I'll leave the trolley here. You take what you want.
So sick.
So I had my rucksack with me and just filled my rucksack up with like spirits, wine, beer, everything that I could fit into my rucksack. And I was like walking off the plane, like clinking, all my bottles clinking in my bag. And yeah, my dad was picking me up from the airport, and within 5 seconds of seeing me, he was like, "You are smashed." And I was like, "Oh, I got you presents, and just started showing him all these bottles that I had in my bag. And I was like, "These are for you," giving him all these miniatures to take home. And yeah, it was a pretty interesting drive back.
Funny. That means rapid fire. I have rapid fire questions, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to read out a few, and you got to just give me first answer that comes to your mind. So I'll just load these up. Favorite movie?
Oh shit. Favorite movie. Let's go for Cars 2.
Oh, okay, I've not seen it. Okay, cool. Favorite meal?
I'm not sure I have either, to be honest.
Just like the film. Doesn't mean I've seen it. Okay, favorite meal?
Meal. I'm gonna go for classic, boring British answer of a roast dinner.
Roast dinner. Cool, yeah. Name something on your bucket list.
Ooh, that's a good one. Well, it always used to be. I always wanted to go to outer space, which is quite a fanciful answer, I guess.
But
like probably never going to happen.
Hey, I mean,
but
was it Virgin
I'd love to see the Earth from space. Yeah.
But they're doing like SpaceX and everything.
Yeah.
I don't think.
I don't want to give Musk my money, man.
What about Richard Branson?
Oh, he's a prick too.
Jeff Bezos? Even worse.
Even worse, man. Fuck them guys.
I'll try and make my own airline, space airline.
Yeah, I'll come on yours.
Yeah,
if you take me to space.
Okay. Ticket's going to be like 200 grand though.
Oh yeah, I can do it.
Alright,
I'll just
cool.
get a loan.
Inflation nowadays. Okay, describe your style in one word.
Oh, that's a really good question.
Yeah.
I've never had to think about that. In one word. Convivial.
Hey, nice. Good use. And last question, your last Google search.
Well.
So this is a quick answer, then we'll do the long answer.
Yeah, well, I mean, the true answer is Mizuno, because I was Googling the brand of jumper I bought, because I wondered what country it's from, and it's Japanese for anyone that wondered. But before that, because I think it was last night, and we were Googling about mad cow disease. Yes. Weren't we?
We were.
I don't know how we got onto that, but
me neither.
Yeah, and I think we were worried about we might get the human version of mad cow disease, which is Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, which is a prion disorder, which is like a misfolded protein that causes these holes in the brain and basically rapidly progressing dementia. So
yeah, and you were saying this with that whole disorder, that it can literally just fabricate out of nowhere.
Yeah, well, you can have a genetic mutation.
That's a genetic mutation.
Yeah.
5 to 10%. They're saying, so if your parents don't have it, you're pretty safe. But out of nowhere, these holes start in your brain, and you get dementia within a year, and then you die within. Oh no, you die within a year.
Basically, and you can't really. There's no accurate way of diagnosing it. Like the only way is like autopsy after you die. They'll look at your brain and see all of these spongy holes in your brain, and then
which is literally like new fear unlocked.
It's crazy, man. Yeah. Because
it also got into that. We were talking about how cannibalism can lead to that.
Yeah.
And we were talking about
Kuru. It's called
Kuru.
Kuru. Yeah.
Is what the disease is called.
Yeah.
And how we were talking about we went to like how a tribe or indigenous tribe were common to have it because they were
in Papua New Guinea.
Yeah. And
there's a theory that the Neanderthals died out because of cannibalism, and humans were resistant to this disorder, whereas Neanderthals developed these kind of spongiform encephalopathies, they're called, because of cannibalism. But it's just a theory. There's no real way of proving it, to be honest.
Yeah, and then we tied it into the new film Society of Snow with the 1972.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Andy's crash.
Yeah.
So we're talking about it because they resort to cannibalism, and I don't know how it linked in, but that's an actually perfect segue into what do you want to bring up that quick story with your friend? What she was talking about? Can you land a plane?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
How smooth was that?
around Christmas, I was with a friend called Hannah, and she was talking about this interesting survey they did, where they asked kind of various people, but obviously split it into like men and women. Of, do you think, if needed, you could land a commercial plane? And as you might expect, a much higher proportion of the men said yes, they would be able to land a commercial airliner.
Yeah.
And that kind of brings in all these ideas of, toxic masculinity and overconfidence that a lot of men have, which, is probably very much a societal thing. Lots of men are brought up to feel like that, maybe their skills are a lot higher than they actually are, and then maybe slightly overconfident and basically blag their way through life. And it was interesting that me and my friend Sam, who were there, both immediately said, "Oh yeah, I think I could do it. I think I could land a plane." And then we like reflected on it and thought, actually, no, it's probably a lot more difficult than it sounds. But I was interested to hear from you that potentially, actually, it would be possible because of modern airliners, modern planes. They have a lot of autopilot systems.
Yeah.
And if you had the radio and you could speak to ground control, is that right?
Yeah,
mission control.
ATC, yeah, ATC.
ATC.
Air traffic control.
They could probably talk you through using mostly the autopilot, but the kind of buttons and knobs you needed to tweak in order to land the plane. And actually, there would be a fairly high chance that with that help from the team on the ground, you probably could land it.
Yeah, because so Jack posted this, and I was thinking, well, so I fly the 737, and the 737 is able to auto land. So one of the requirements is 2 autopilots. So I was theoretically thinking, so if we put Jack in the seat, he has the ability to talk to ATC, air traffic control, and basically you configure by taking flaps and the landing gear down. And because you have 2 autopilots, I think if you were in a situation where both pilots were kaput, you were able to get into the cockpit, and we were talking you down, we would literally say, okay, you'd use like radar vectors, so you basically tell a plane, okay, fly on this heading, use this autopilot, press this button. I think, theoretically, because the plane can auto-land, I mean, it'd be a bit non-standard, but it would be the safest way, because you have the 2 autopilots. Okay, Jack, you're gonna when we tell you now, it's gonna say Vorlock. You put command A, command B, and which of the 2 command A pilot, command A autopilot and autopilot B. And I think theoretically, okay, take the landing gear, leave it down, take flaps now, and bug the speed. So I think theoretically, I could
land a plane.
Yeah.
And I want to make it clear, I do not think for one second that was the logic these men in the survey used when they said, yes, they could land a plane. I think it was pure arrogance, probably on most of their part. But it is interesting to know that it's actually possible.
I would say, I think it is. I would think it is. And because like
so Hannah, if you're listening, I was right the first time. I could land a plane essentially.
And because the thing is, it's like going back to the psychology of that study as well, what Hannah was mentioning. With the girls, it's not like all the girls said no, right? It's just a lower percentage of girls said yes.
Yeah.
So some girls, said yes. So some girls did say yes, but I think and then I think to get depending on other rules as well, it's like minimum use high autopilot of 1 autopilot is 158 feet. So I think it can be very quick, but you'd basically brief them. But again, I think even if at 158 you disconnect and it's a bit of a hard landing, it'd still be safe. And you have like a runway excursion where the plane gets on and then skirts off the runway, still be safer than.
I think we should try this. I think we should put it into practice. I think we should get up in the air
in a roleplay
and give this a go. I would be willing to.
I was going to say flight simulator, but yeah, roleplaying sounds better.
We could do a flight simulator. Yeah. Get me in a flight simulator and we'll see. Then we can we can test it for real.
That's wild though. But no, interesting conversation. That sound means next segment.
So I think you've asked me some rapid fire questions.
Okay.
But I had something I wanted to request of you, and I think your listeners and your creeps and perverts that are watching would enjoy this as well.
Okay.
So I think most of us probably won't be lucky enough to be sat on a plane that you're driving.
Lucky as
you
the
drive
right
a plane?
You taxi it and you fly it.
Yeah, we'll call it driving. We probably won't be lucky enough to be on a plane that you'll be driving. So what I would love to hear is a captain's announcement. So imagine let's say we're in London. I know we're in Leeds right now, but let's say we're in London Stansted Airport.
Okay.
And we're flying to Where are we going?
Stockholm.
We're going to Stockholm.
Okay.
And we're getting ready to fly, and you want to send out a very reassuring message to the what do you call it, that first kind of announcement that the captain makes?
Like public announcement or PA, make a PA.
Yeah.
Make a PA, yeah.
I want to hear Dan's PA
Okay.
for his flight from Stansted to Stockholm.
Okay, so so the situation is normally you set up for the descent with your pilot flying in the sector. You normally make a PA. I would normally go such as following. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is your first officer Daniel speaking. We are currently cruising about 38,000 feet, which is about 11,000 meters or so. Currently overhead Denmark, about to start descent into Arlanda. Weather Arlanda, we have a light southerly winds, light snow showers. It's a cool -3 degrees. We are expected to land in about 45 minutes, which takes us about 8:15. We hope you've had a nice journey, and I wish you a pleasant week ahead and weekend ahead. And yeah, have a good one. Bye.
Very good. That was
And that's
beautiful.
what I normally say, like, because I think,
I think that's better than ASMR for me. That's so reassuring. I feel so held and so safe on your plane.
I didn't leave it in bed.
I want to hear that every night before I go to sleep. I want to hear. We're currently in Jack's bed. We are
about to get frisky.
It's 10:30 p.m. We're having an early night, and we'll be waking up at about 7:30 in the morning. And I hope you have a lovely sleep. I think it's beautiful, man.
Because I try not mention the airline because it's like it's from me rather than they have a handy dandy to help you say what you want to say, but I sort of just keep it from me. Like that's why I say I hope you or. Yeah, you normally shout at the cabin crew, but I forget to I hope blah blah in the cabin crew.
Do you ever accidentally say this is Dan's Daily Dump?
I wish. For those who listen to the podcast know hashtag DDD.
And my hashtag is DDD if you want to follow me
Swipe
on
up to follow
Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook.
I should start plugging that, to be honest.
You should, yeah. You should plug the podcast.
I
You
should.
think you get fired if you plug the podcast?
Maybe. No, they get disciplinary or something. But yeah, that was Jack's rapid fire for Dan.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
I'm glad. Okay, the next part we have is highs and lows, the main crux of the episode, Turbulence of Life with a laugh.
It was taking a long time to get here.
We did. I'm just gonna cut out the previous hour chat. So I normally ask the guests about highs and lows, recent, one high, one recent, one low, one recent. I'll just go quickly. Again, I spoke about the high of this weekend and whatnot, and another high. Did a half marathon last week.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
Where was it?
It was in Dorney, like towards Windsor, Reading. So, you know that area.
Reading. Shout out to the RG.
Yeah, I was because I got friends at Maidenhead.
Oh, nice.
So it was towards that way. I forgot you were Reading. Yeah, and I could have done quicker. I'm annoyed, but I'm gonna try do another one soon. So that was a recent
12 this year, right?
12 at least half marathons this year.
Yeah.
So seeing what I can do.
Get a Just Giving page going, man. You can.
Yeah, I do. I haven't plugged enough, so it's 12 is what I have to do. So I've just liked it for RSPCA. I'll share the link or I'll advertise it somehow, and I think I just need to. It's funny because when you message a bunch of people, no one reply. But I think if you get them individually.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I found.
That's how Jack got me. I was like,
you have to get them individually. If you send it to a group chat, no one will reply. They'll just all ignore it.
Yeah.
But you've got to get them individually. Donate now.
So, but that was a high because it was a very wholesome weekend because it was like a bunch of friends and it was nice and chill. But now I was telling this to Jack, so I don't know if it's too corny to get real a bit, but one of my lows was getting mugged. So shouldn't really laugh. Fuck it, you can't laugh.
I mean, I remember this. I remember hearing about it when we were at uni.
So it was second year uni. There's a park in Leeds called Hyde Park, and it's like from corner to corner. I lived on a corner, and then I worked at a bar called the Faversham on the other corner. So I would normally do normally work at night. So I would get there for like 9 or 10. So walk through when it's dark, and then walk back because it's the quickest route. Because you can go around, but I was just lazy / a bit of an idiot. And I was making the journey at 3 a.m. as well, and I made that journey regularly, like these sort of times, and nothing would happen. And then it was a Monday at 7 p.m. and I'm going to the library, and luckily I didn't have a laptop or anything, and I go in, and as I go into the park, 2 guys in trackies walk past me, and then I get like a quarter to halfway through, and I hear rustling behind me, and I sort of knew what was going to happen. I was like, oh fuck. So I didn't walk quicker, and I was always weird. I was like, oh, I don't know why I did this, but I was like, pretending, I can be like, I forgot this, and run the other way, but I just didn't run. And the footsteps got quicker behind me. They got louder as well, and I was like, oh shit. And next thing you know, guys got me in a headlock, and then there's a second guy, and like my initial thought was like, oh fuck, he's got a knife or something. So you're like shit scared. I was shit scared.
Yeah, man.
And he's like, where's your phone? I was like, hey, yeah, right pocket. I took it, and then he's like, where's your wallet? And funny enough, at that time, I literally just had an elastic band and some cards. That's what I used as my wallet. Because it's like, yeah, it's starting to get cashless. So I just literally had an elastic band and like cards in my left pocket. And I was like, I don't have one, I said, like, which was the truth. And it just would have been inconvenient. They took all the cards and they took it. So they like,
You're really inconveniencing me here, man. Can you just leave it?
Yeah,
This isn't very convivial of you.
Yeah, not convivial at all.
No.
So yeah, so yeah, it threw me to the floor, and I was like, "Fuck that!" I mean, I was like, "Shit, scared." I was like,
Yeah,
"Fuck's
man,
sake."
that'd be terrifying.
And then I don't know why, but I continued to go to the library.
Fuck, man.
did my homework, came back, and then I told my flatmate, and she's like, "Oh shit, you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, yeah." I was like, "You should probably call the police." I was like, yeah, that's a good idea.
Oh man.
So then I got back and I called the police, and then two private plainclothes officers came up, and they blah blah blah. They were like I was telling them the story, and then it was like they were very like not coy but like natural about it. They were like, they basically asked me, are you faking it? Because like we get a lot of stories. Because if you think about it, you get mugged. The first thing you do is normally find a phone and report it. But I did this like 2 or 3 hours later, being like a 19-year-old, 20-year-old, be like,
Just in the library doing sums.
because the thing is that the homework was due for the next day. I was like, I haven't fucking done it. And I realized now they probably would have taken that as an excuse. But yeah, so it was weird. They took.
I mean, how are you going to phone them? They took your phone.
Yeah, exactly. That's sound logic. So they asked me questions. They tried to do DNA, so they took the jeans that I had. Never got the jeans back. So
What?
I'm down one pair of jeans. I mean, it was like ASOS, but
Yeah,
still.
fucking hell, man.
And then yeah, it was a bit wild because that happened. I mean, I told my
No
parents.
DNA on the jeans.
What's that?
No DNA on the jeans.
Yeah, and I didn't get the jeans back.
They didn't
so-
ejaculate as they robbed you.
I felt something warm. Might need to cut that bit out. I'll see. Just beep it out.
You got to keep it in.
Yeah, I'll keep it. I forgot what I said. But yeah, so I told my parents, but for me it wasn't a big deal. Like I got mugged, I'm still alive. I mean, I was scared. But what was actually wild, a bit crazy, it's like the days after, maybe a couple weeks after, when I was walking normally to university, and I would hear someone walk behind me, like.
And let me get this straight. You kept walking the same route.
I think that was enough to make me go around the
Yeah,
park.
okay,
yeah.
that's sensible.
Yeah, I think it took me to get mugged to change
Yeah.
my ways.
But there was a spate of muggins in that park around that time. I remember
so we
it was
talked
in
about
the
this, yeah.
it was in the uni paper and all that kind of stuff. There was loads of people getting mugged at that time. So,
Yeah.
You know, you weren't the only one, but yeah, it's like scary, man.
Yeah.
Like, I've been fortunate. I've not had that happen to me, but
Yeah, and there used to be
I'd
like
be
proper
terrified.
gangs as well, like actual
Yeah,
weapons
yeah,
and shit.
yeah.
So I was a bit of an idiot, really.
yeah.
But yeah, so I was saying like when I was like the weeks after walking normally, and I heard someone walk behind me, like the hairs on the back of my neck would raise, and
Yeah.
it was literally like maybe an edge, but I don't know. I think luckily it didn't. I didn't let it get to me, and I eventually sort of not dealt with it. But yeah, like you sort of
Yeah,
just
yeah.
brush it aside, but yeah, I got mugged. That was pretty.
Yeah.
I
Fucked
laugh.
up, man.
What's that? Sure.
Fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, like the thing is, like you're grateful. Like I had phone insurance to get a new phone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, luckily it didn't harm me, but I generally thought like as soon as the guy got me in a headlock, I thought my initial thought was like he's got a fucking knife, and
Yeah, yeah.
And-
And he might have done.
yeah, and like luckily it was just like 2 Leeds youths, just like fucking. It's like, where's your phone?
Where's phone, mate?
Yeah, which so I forgot to mention
Seriously?
this. So Leeds
Drop
accents.
yogurt on the floor.
So yeah, I was telling Jack this. So I was funny story. So I was at Leeds Uni, and it was like early on, like on a morning. I went to the like school and maths building to revise whatever, and it was so funny. Like so, obviously the local workers were all from Leeds, and the most Yorkshire thing. So it was like one of the cleaners was Stacey, and there was another worker, and I was like just revising, and I hear Stacey, I drop yogurt on the floor.
I drop yogurt on the floor.
Drop yogurt on the floor. For the non-UK people, like a Leeds accent, I mean, you'll like recognise Yorkshire
It's
accent.
a beautiful voice.
Yeah,
Beautiful voice.
very seductive. And they don't say the word the, so they go, go down to the pub, or
Down to the pub.
go down to the pub, or drop yogurt on the floor. But then you have a pretty good Leeds accent, right?
Ground control to Major Dan.
I'll use that for the soundbite for the jingle pad.
Check ignition and may God's love be with you. Ground controls to Major Dan.
Perfect.
Been singing that all day.
Pricing for the pod.
Priceless.
But yeah, so yeah, I got mugged. That was low,
Mm.
and yeah, highs and lows. So now I want to pass the floor to you.
Can we go lows first?
Let's go lows
We'll
first.
go
Yeah.
lows to high.
Yeah.
Well, the first low is, I mean, this one's pretty tough to talk about. I mean, I'm a lifelong Chelsea fan.
Yes.
Everybody in my family is. My mum, my dad, my brother, my sister, my uncle, my cousins.
Oh shit.
Everyone. It's just been really hard watching them these past 2.5 years, man.
Yeah.
It's a fall from grace that I've not been
Oh,
able to. You know, I'm coping, but just about.
Solid mid-table team now
Yeah.
compared to the days with Drogba and Lampard. And...
I know. I mean, who knew that when Russia invaded Ukraine, this is what it would lead to?
Oh shit.
I
Yeah.
know. And let me be very clear. This is, you know, by far the least bad thing that's come of it. There's, I'm not.
Don't know where you're going with that.
Yeah, I don't want to be cancelled. This is clearly a minor thing compared to all of the people's lives that have been ruined. But Roman Abramovich, very controversial person.
Yeah.
Less I say, the better, probably. But he was a very good owner of
He
our
was.
football club.
I thought he was. Yeah.
Even if he was maybe a very bad person in other ways. Very successfully run club, and now since being sold to Todd Bowley,
I didn't know they got sold to.
previous owner of LA Dodgers, or maybe still owns LA Dodgers in America. Yeah, man, it's just been a really tough time.
Yeah.
It's been inconsistency. It's been boring football some of the time. It's been no patterns of play.
Yeah.
It's been
Yeah.
bad results. I don't know. You know, we're on the up.
Yeah,
on,
yeah.
You know, we're on the up. Pochettino, he probably has a plan.
Probably.
Probably.
Probably maybe. Probably maybe.
There might be probably a plan. And, yeah, but that
Yeah.
was one of the lows I thought of
Yeah.
when you asked me, because
Yeah.
I'm a big football fan.
Yeah, you are. You are. Cool. Okay. Any other lows as serious as Chelsea or?
Well, I don't think anything could be as serious as
No,
that.
probably
But,
not.
well, we were talking about like a burnout and stuff like that, and I said I would like kind of mention that. So obviously, as I said earlier, that I'm a doctor, and you know when I first graduated, so you do what's called foundation training, where you rotate around different jobs, and I think for a lot of people it can be quite stressful. So I kind of moved to a new place. So I was in Stevenage for a year, and then I was in London for a year.
Yeah.
And you know you're changing jobs every 4 months. You've just graduated. You kind of don't really know what you're doing, and you're just kind of making the best of it and trying to do the best you can and learn as much as you can. But you know, often you're in scenarios where you feel way out of your depth, and actually it's it's worse for a lot of doctors graduating now because the NHS is under such strain at the moment. But yeah, I was saying that like after the second year finished, I mean even coming towards the end of the second year, I could tell, well, I mean I couldn't at the time, but in retrospect I could tell that I was, you know, completely burning out. You know, just tired all the time.
Just
Not
from the
taking care-
hours you're working and stuff, or?
Yeah, well, I think it was a mixture of things. It was the work. It was having to change jobs every 4 months, moving to a new city where I had a lot of friends in London, but I was in North London, and most of my friends were even east or south, which is like
Yeah.
hour and a half, 2 hours away
Crazy,
potentially on public transport. So it's not like I could just pop to see them after work
Yeah.
because, you know, if I'm taking like an hour and a half journey and then I see them for a bit, hour and a half back, it's like I was just too tired.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't eating good. I was drinking too much. I was not seeing people enough, and yeah, things just like kind of gradually spiral, don't they? And
Yeah.
well, I didn't have to. I was lucky enough to be able to choose to take 6 months off after I finished my second year to kind of recover, figure out what I wanted to do going forward, how was kind of best to remedy the situation, kind of.
Yeah. So to delve a bit deeper, so going chronologically, when did you realize you were burning out, or this is like too much?
Probably not till literally it got to the point where it was when I finished my second year of work.
Yeah.
And I didn't have work anymore. Like I got to the end, and I think you know like how I don't know if this is like a kind of old wives kind of thing that people say, but if as soon as you like take a bit of time off, then that's when you get sick, right? Like
Yeah.
that's when you'll get like a cold or something.
Yeah.
Because you're just like pushing yourself and pushing yourself, and then as soon as it got to the point where I'd finished work, I had done my last day. That's when it all just crumbled because I was just
Really?
like I didn't have work
Yeah.
anymore, and it just kind of as soon as I relaxed and breathed out, it was like, oh shit, like
Yeah.
I'm not in a good place, I'm not in a good way.
Yeah, and then how did you feel like? So did you actually get sick, or was it?
Yeah, I mean, I was like, I was anxious and I was, probably a bit depressed and, um,
It's just
yeah,
physically
I
drained.
was just physically drained as well,
Yeah.
physically and mentally drained in every way, and it took a long time to kind of get the energy back to be able to start doing things that would kind of
Yeah.
help me. So like, exercising, eating a bit better, kind of
Yeah.
seeing friends and just doing normal things.
So just to go into that transition, so you're feeling down, and then starting to realize what to do stuff. How did you? Do you remember how you felt at the time, or how did you sort of? Not that it sounds bad, but how did you go from like day to day? Like, how did you? Because you were physically drained. You were drained. You were thinking, oh, this
Yeah,
is too
yeah.
much. You were actually burnt out. How did you like think? How did you get up and be like? Were you not like, oh fuck this, I'm too tired to do anything, or like, how did you?
Yeah, I mean, well, I was, to be honest, I was very lucky that I had the opportunity to be able to just take some time off from work, and
Oh, okay.
like a lot of people don't have that opportunity, I realise, but I was lucky enough to be able to. Like, I moved back in with my parents for a bit. I didn't have much money saved, but I had, I wasn't paying rent, so I had enough just to get by and really just kind of take a lot of time off. And
Okay.
I think it was just a time really, and then to be able to gradually start adding those things back in,
Yeah.
like eating better, exercising, that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
But I think I was just really fortunate that I could take that opportunity to really rest, like properly
Okay.
rest, like
Yeah.
yeah.
So it was a case of you sort of burn out. Then with the 6 months that you took off, it was literally like you got time off, so you could literally just start to sleep more. You could just sort of literally do nothing, and just recover and see how
Yeah,
you
and
got
then
on.
just be able to have the time to think about
Yeah.
where I wanted to go next, what I wanted to
Yeah.
do, kind of plan for the future,
Yeah.
rather than just be living day to day.
Yeah. And did you talk about this with anyone, or?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Like I had a few good friends that were still living in Reading, which is where my parents live. So obviously spoke to my parents, they knew, and spoke to my friends, and
Yeah.
I went to my GP and that sort of thing.
Oh, even the doctor, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I wasn't just gonna let it get the best of me. Like I wanted to, feel better. So
Yeah.
yeah, I got all the help I got.
Yeah,
I
that's
could get,
good.
basically, like
To get real bit, it's it's that whole I think there's a whole concept still of, I mean, it's getting better obviously, but with being like a modern man and being old school, like guys obviously don't talk about the feelings, and
yeah.
it's like that stat of like still to this day the biggest killer of guys between 18 and 40 something, 45 something, is suicide, right?
Yeah.
Because
it
they
is.
just can't handle
Yeah.
emotions or feelings, and they
There's
don't talk
still
about it.
a lot of stigma attached to it, and yeah, I think there's good and bad things of the fact that people are talking more about mental health.
Yeah.
There's good aspects to it and bad aspects to it because people don't always talk about it in the right way or in an accurate way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's I think it's really important that if you're struggling, to speak to friends and speak to, go to your doctor and that sort of
Yeah.
thing, and not kind of just keep it to yourself, which is what I did for a long time, to be fair. I did
Yeah.
just keep it to myself, but there gets a point where you can't do that anymore.
Yeah, because I found like if I'm like normally feeling low, it's the thing I just, oh yeah, Zach, yeah, so obviously Zach, I talk to him about anything, but I think it's like talking to people is like the best thing for me.
And I think if you're lucky to have people that are close to you that you can talk to, then use those people, because frankly, some people aren't lucky enough to have those people, and they're the people that really suffer. But if you've got people that care about you and you can talk to, then you should use those people to help.
But then I guess you even have like a great concept of this being like a psychiatric doctor, right? Like
Yeah. I mean, in theory, you would think so.
Oh.
Like in theory, I mean, you
Yeah.
do have a better understanding of it, but just because you know the right advice to give to other people doesn't mean that you always take the right
True.
advice yourself.
True.
I mean, I'm doing great now, and that was a long time ago. That was, a lot of years ago now. But I think it takes a lot of time and practice to be able to kind of develop good habits and ways of keeping yourself healthy, both like physically and mentally. And it's not just something that you can read or someone tell you and you can just start doing it. Like it's a lot of practice and hard work. And
okay, but okay, cool. And then so going back to your sort of burnout scenario, I guess you were saying you're just lucky that you had the 6 months. You can just slowly recover from that. And then, was it a case that you got the 6 months and then you had to go back into work, or did you have to have time off, or?
Yeah, well, so it was quite a fortuitous situation, actually. I had a psychiatric hospital near me, and I knew that by that point, I knew that I wanted to go into psychiatry training. That's what I wanted to specialise in.
Yeah.
And I just called them up and I said, have you got any jobs available? And I spoke to a really nice guy in HR, and he said, yeah, come in on Wednesday, we can chat about it.
Wow.
And I ended up getting a job there for 6 months as a staff grade doctor, and had a really good experience working on an inpatient ward for a month or two, and then doing liaison psychiatry for another 4 months. And really good hospital and good colleagues, and learnt a lot in that kind of short amount of time.
Oh, okay. Interesting. And then, did you have a girlfriend at this time? Was it?
No, not around that time. Well, that relationship kind of ended around that time.
Oh, really? Was that related, you reckon, or?
I think it it was all kind of intertwined. Yeah. But it was complicated.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
all those things kind of intertwined, and it just came to a head that I wasn't really coping with life generally. All of my energy was just going into work.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of mean, how I was putting no energy into seeing friends and all the things that I should have been doing that would have kept me kind of feeling good. All of my energy was going into work, and that's why when I finished that 2 years and I didn't have that work anymore, everything kind of just, I suddenly realised that, this is a problem.
Yeah. So, towards the end of where the burnout was, you didn't have would you say you didn't have the capacity to step back and see that you were burnt out, because you were literally just trying to grind away?
Yeah.
Just 100%. In it, like in the rat race type thing.
Yeah, 100%. Like, it was only with hindsight that I could see what had happened.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, unless you wanted to add anything.
No, because I think you wanted to mention something about that as well, about fatigue and to do with work. And
for me, I think it was during flight school actually. It was the first time, because there's, is it acute and chronic fatigue?
Yeah.
So I think it was the first time it was like a mild case of chronic fatigue, but it was like during the middle of it, it's cross country phase. Basically, you build up your flying hours and time. But to do this, you had to think of the route, plan the route, drawn up maps. You have to submit flight logs, so you have to take the coordinates and go, I'm going to go from here to here to here, and it's just so strenuous, as well as simultaneously revising for theory exams. And because they give you a new flight every day, it's like 3 or 4 hours to prepare for 2-hour flight, and it's like bang 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 bang, and you're just in it. And I just got caught up, and I think it lasted for a week, and then towards the end of it, I would wake up and I would be tired. I'd get a full 8-9 hours of sleep, and I'd wake up and I'd be tired. And
we live in a society where you're kind of almost expected to just keep pushing yourself.
When you're young and you don't know much, you just want to prove that you can do it. And
I think it's important to remember that we're not machines, we're not robots. We're human beings, and if you just keep pushing yourself, that's what will happen. You'll get burnt out, and you won't be able to push yourself anymore, and you'll get sick. You need to. Conscious rest is really important. Not just rest in terms of sitting down and watching TV or whatever, but just conscious rest of actually,
unwinding and sort of relaxing.
And however you do that, people do that in different ways. Sometimes through sport or yoga or meditation or arts and crafts, but things that really relax you kind of mentally, not just physically sitting down, but actually mentally relaxing as well. Yeah,
it was the first and only time in my life where I was actually fatigued. And again, towards the middle of it, I didn't realize it, but then towards the end, you're just you just see another one, you're just God damn it, got to get on with it. No, it's a good experience, good life experience for sure, not fun at the time.
No, and trying to, you've just got to try and keep hold of those things and remember those things, what are the signs of burnout for you individually, because it's different for everyone, but trying to stay mindful of those things. And if
Yeah.
if you are burning out, then you need to change something and do something different.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, nice. So that was lows. Very interesting. And now we can go to highs.
Perfect.
I'm gonna do another ASMR for you lot. So I'm holding a. Oh, here's the debate we had earlier. I have a old malt
Controversial.
cider, but Jack says old moot. And you were saying how on the bottle it
Do you
says.
need to show the spelling up to the screen?
Yeah. So.
I'm gonna Google this.
Because my argument was clout, like be famous, CLOUT, clout, malt, MOUT. So I think it's malt, but you're pretty sure it's moot.
So
Oh.
I think I knew this already because on the bottles, on the branding on the big bottles you get, it says that it's from New Zealand and it's pronounced in this specific way.
Okay.
And according to their website, it is in fact pronounced as MOOOT. Moot. Old moot.
But the New Zealanders have an accent though, don't they?
Do you want to try it? Do you want to try the New Zealand accent?
Oh, it's so crikey. So this is Australian.
Crikey.
Crikey, throw some shrimp on the barbie.
Well, I hope there's no people from New Zealand listening.
Maybe one or two. I'll go listener discretion from Aussies strictly.
Oh, I wouldn't
limited.
call them Aussies.
Oh, not the New Zealanders. But then, so the New Zealanders is a bit like he. It's like you're like he.
Yeah, I'd say that's pretty accurate. That's spot on, mate.
I think that's just crazy frog. But yeah, as I was saying, I'll just do a ASMR for you. Jack, you can listen as well. See what it sounds like.
Can't wait. Disgusting.
I don't know how that sounded. That brings us to our next bit. Yeah, as you want to say.
So I did want to say one of the highs recently is I was accepted onto and started a new postgraduate certificate.
Very cool.
I'm doing it part-time while I'm working. And it's the first academically approved course on psychedelics in Europe.
In Europe? Oh, I didn't know that. Very cool.
So it's called Psychedelics, Mind, Medicine and Culture from the University of Exeter. And yeah, it's run by some professors from the University of Exeter. There's a professor of philosophy and other humanities subjects, and it's a broad overview of the topic of psychedelics. So from the clinical usage, so psychedelic psychotherapy, which has lots of good evidence already for various mental illnesses, so anxiety disorders, OCD, depression, addictions to substances, addictions to gambling, for use with people coming to the end of their life, palliative care, so end of life anxiety, existential distress. So yeah, it's a really broad overview, and I'm really excited to get started. And yeah, fire away.
Because for those who aren't familiar with psychedelic drugs, I guess you'd be like psychedelic drugs.
Well, this is part of the course, so this is a really interesting aspect of the course, is what do we call these things? Because there is no one term that is perfect in describing what these things are. So, I mean, I could talk for a long time about this, but I'll try and keep it short. Psychedelic, the word itself means mind manifesting. And yeah, so there were various other names that were proposed. One of the newer words a bit later was entheogen. So that's, I think I can't remember the exact translation, but it's to do with God or the God within. So it gives you contact with God.
Using
psychedelics, yeah.
Wow.
So lots of people on psychedelics have experiences of coming into contact with a higher power or a higher understanding of the universe, and the fact that, or the idea that all things are connected and all things in nature are connected by some kind of overarching truth or overarching force. Generally, there are classical psychedelics, which are things like psilocybin, which is in magic mushrooms, LSD, DMT, which is similar to where it's found in ayahuasca, and also some toads as well. They have venom that contains DMT that can be smoked.
Wow.
Or vaporized.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
in Australia, it's sort of the psilocybin and MDMA have already been approved for medical use. You can pay, it's quite expensive, but you can pay a few £1,000 and go have psychedelic psychotherapy in the Netherlands.
Wow. Netherlands, of course.
Yeah, because the law there is a bit of a grey area. I think what I like as well is it kind of marries together the mind and the body, and I think that's a lot of what I see in psychiatry is there's often the separation of the mind and the body into two different things. You've got physical illness and you've got mental illness, but actually these things are inextricably linked, and everything that goes on in the mind can have an effect on the body, and things that go on in the body can have an effect on the mind. And these chemicals seem to bridge the gap between the mind and the body. They're a physical chemical that you ingest, but they create significant effects in the mind and allow people to explore their unconscious and to explore memories and experiences that they've had before and to reprocess them. There's a good metaphor of like shaking the snow globe. So you have all of these entrenched patterns that you can shake the snow globe by taking a psychedelic and create new patterns and new thoughts and new ways of thinking and looking at the world and looking at the universe and looking at yourself.
Yeah, that's very cool, man. That's very cool. But yeah, no. But
So
yeah,
I think that would be one of my highest highs recently. I think
highs,
yeah. I think no pun intended.
Nice, no, very cool. Very cool.
And the question that I get a lot is there any practical sessions? Do we get to take?
Oh yeah, I was going to ask. Yeah,
do we get to take
practice them, or do you take them?
Obviously, the answer is no.
Oh.
Because they are still illegal in this country, unfortunately, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And so we won't be taking them, but we will be learning about them, and
so you don't test
hopefully
the
one
drugs.
day we'll be able to give them to people to either cure their illnesses or just to improve their lives generally.
Very cool.
Yeah.
No, very cool. Very cool. Nice. And any other highs you wanted to cover, or any quick ones you want to mention?
I mean, we're recording this from my part of my house that I bought with my partner, so I think that was a high recently.
Part of your house meaning both of you went in together.
Yeah. Sorry, yeah.
Don't know.
And I mean, buying a property is a very stressful and boring process, so I won't go into the kind of the logistics of it. But it felt like a really, you hit the age of 30 plus and you're like, life becomes quite scary sometimes.
Really? Yeah.
And you suddenly feel weirdly like a proper adult, even though you have been an adult for like 10 plus years. But doing things like that is, I guess it's one of those milestones in life that you need to kind of look on as a real positive step and kind of something that's I think it's a good achievement.
I think I mentioned it before. It's like I was doom scrolling and there was an Insta reel, and it's like I'm at the age where my friends are either getting married or training for half marathons. I was like, well,
let's do 12 half marathons.
No, sad I have. I'm proud though. I'm proud.
Yeah.
Just funny. That's cool. Nice. Very cool. Anything else you wanted to mention? Any highs or?
No, I just think this has been a very convivial discussion.
Convivial.
And I've had a lot of fun.
Thank you for reminding me. So my initial idea when the podcast is like, I'll name each episode based on the theme of the episode. So I've just been naming it with the guests. So this time, I think word of the day, or word of the week, word of the weekend,
word of the year.
Word of the year.
Convivial. Yeah.
So maybe I'll call this episode Being Convivial with Jack, or
that sounds pretty good.
Being Convivial with Jack.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is the fun part.
This is the part I've been dreading.
Really?
I'm going to do so badly.
Our avid listeners know this is now the name game. So there's two 30-second sessions where Jack or said guest will name. First one is always how many airlines you can mention, 30 seconds. And the second one is a subject or topic of their choice, and they name as many as they can. So firstly, we're going to go airlines.
Yeah, I'm trying to go through them in my head now.
And then, do you know already your second category?
We chose it earlier, didn't we? I think we're going to go for hip-hop artists.
So you,
solo or group. It can be either.
And so for those, just as a background, you're into your hip-hop.
Yeah,
you can freestyle as well. You see, you do it less often, but
I think
normally when we're drunk when Jack's drunk and I'm drunk as well with you, you normally go into. I forgot to watch last night, but so what we'll do, I don't know if you want a few more seconds to think about the airlines.
Nah, let's just do it. I'm gonna do so bad. But
okay, cool. So-
I'm just going to put the word air after every country.
or before. So
before.
I'm going to give you countdown 3, 2, 1. You're going to hear the music, and you're familiar with countdown.
I'm very familiar.
So
I was a student. I'm very familiar with countdown.
I used to do the maths around. I think there was one point where it was like a Friday night, and I would. You can do like you can Google like countdown number generator. So it'd give you like 2 highs, 3 low numbers, and it gives you a random number.
You
You'd
would
like try
just
to
do
do it.
the.
Because I did maths at uni, I'm very cool, so that's why I used to do my Friday nights. But anyway, so for the non-UK people, countdown is a show where they basically do 30-second sessions, and they give you pick constant vowels, and you basically make a longer word or numbers. So that's where the music came from. Hopefully, I don't get copyrighted. But so I'll give you 3, 2, 1, and you're good to go, right?
I'll try.
Okay. I'm gonna put the mic down for this, but okay. 3, 2, 1.
EasyJet, Ryanair, British Airways, Aer Lingus, Scandinavian Airways, Fly Emirates, Etihad, is that one? Singapore Air, Bangkok Air, Australia Airlines. What's the American one? The American Airline Company. American Airlines. Yeah.
American Airline Company. It's called American Airlines.
Okay.
I don't think Bangkok Air exists.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'll take your word for it.
I think you got 9, which is
that's all right.
more than 8. But it is less than 10.
I knew I was going to do bad on that.
You did say, but you can salvage it with hip hop artists because you do know a lot. And for reference, let's have a quick look. So we have the name game. Again, I'm going to post the name game leader points. So we have 34, and you've got 8. So you need to name
34 in 30 seconds.
but that's to combine. So we did airlines and capital cities.
Okay.
So you need to be number 1. You need to name 26 hip hop artists.
That's almost 1 a second.
But I think that's doable because you know a lot. Good to go?
Let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Jay-Z, Biggie, Wu-Tang, Joey Badass, Lil Wayne, Lil Yachty, Lil Uzi, Tupac, Big L, Big Pun, Outkast, Andre 3000, I can split them up, Big Boy, JME, Skepta, Dizzy Rascal. I really fucked this. One cuz. Man, that was so bad.
It's not the worst, but
It's really tough, man. Like when you've got that timer going in your head, it's like you forget everyone.
I've not actually done it myself. I think that I've got to do an episode where
I think you should go next. Yeah, next episode.
Next episode. That was 17.
Next episode, Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre.
Oh man, I could have done so
17
much better than that.
It's 25.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
But you are third.
Third out of 3.
Well, Will, Amy, and Iris are tied on 28, so you are.
I say 4.
Oh, no, they're tied. They're tied second, so you are.
Third out of 4.
Yeah. Pretty still, you got a bronze medal.
Oh, that was bad. So I can live with that. I can live with the L.
Yeah.
You should never be afraid of taking an L.
No.
We all take L's.
That's when you learn the most.
Embrace your L.
That's what grounds and humbles you.
Yeah.
But no, 25 is it's a score.
Very bad score. It's alright. I can live with that.
It's good. It's good.
Someone's got to be at the bottom.
Yeah, and at the moment it's you.
That someone is me.
But yeah, very cool. So that was the name game. Normally, now I do. This is what I do. So, just quick recap of did the thrift shopping. That was nice. Drunken Noodles, the £5 for the chilies. You can land a plane, and I think you can as well.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy. Bastard, that's your funny left hand side. A song blaring to the kids about smoke and draw. That's amazing. It's Leeds in a nutshell.
Smoking in the toilet.
Smoking in the toilet, which is golden. We did icebreakers. Google search. Yeah, but that was very interesting with the cannibalism and how that can lead to. What was the disease called where they get the holes in the brain?
Well, the overarching is it's like a spongiform encephalopathy, but there are different forms: Creutzfeldt-Jakob disease, Kuru.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know what those words mean, but yeah, very cool. Highs and lows. So you did Chelsea, of course, very important.
Of course.
And talking about the highs and the psychedelic course, that was very cool. And that was it. And now I normally, anything that you want to plug yourself for the guests, apart from...
No, nothing I want to plug. I just I've enjoyed being convivial with you. It's been great.
I've enjoyed being convivial with you.
It's been a long time since we've hung out. And,
yeah, because the last time was your 30th, which was May 22.
A year and a half ago.
Jesus.
Yeah,
cool.
So it's been beautiful, man.
Yeah, and then any shout outs you want to give? Friends, family, loved ones, animals?
No, you know who you are. Yeah, you know who you are. I love everyone.
If you know, you know.
Yeah, if you know, you know. I mean, yeah. No shouts.
No shouts. No shouts. And yeah, I think that's it then. I would say, best guess.
Shout out to Connor Atkinson. We've got a shout out. I fucked it.
Connor, go,
shout out to Connor
yeah.
Atkinson.
Connor Atkinson, yeah, he's in Australia.
Congratulations on the engagement.
And Maddie, and congrats on the engagement.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Lovely woman.
Lovely woman, yeah. Best guest we've ever had. Any quick final words you want to...
No, it's been lovely flying with you. It's been very little turbulence, ironically.
Yes,
and,
which is good.
Yeah, thank you for a safe flight.
Yeah, enjoy. Peace.